That was a gun.
I'm not voting.
If we want to build our nation.
The problem with the Somalians.
Just want to experience something else than a black man.
Move on, move
Can't be like a horse with blinkers on.
Honestly say, I was about to have sex and then I pulled
crap,
up.
but it's nice.
My name is Linda Titus. I am a film production manager working in documentaries. Well, I'm wearing so many hats, but today I'm just an activist.
I'm Khumuso Matsunyane and I'm a loudmouth.
I think when it comes to men, living in this new democracy where women can also do the same job that men do, and the constitution says everyone is equal. So it's no longer like back in the days where a man is the head of the house. Yes, you still need the head, but I'm also, as a woman, has a voice in this relationship or in this family. So now they're trying to prove that, hey, listen here, the constitution might say this, the society might believe in this, but I'm still back there in the days where, yes, I paid Lobola for you. Yes, your parents, everyone knows that you, my wife, I paid something for you, and I'm the one who's working here, who provides food for your stomach. I'm the one who made this house. This look. People dumb enough to say that I paid for you, though.
But
I mean, I don't know. I've never been in the school. Are people dumb enough to say that?
I do want to correct, though, is that the implication that African women kind of like we just wait for a man to take care of us, because ever since we've existed, we've been toiling the fields. Even when men were sitting under chairs, trees, pretending to talk something important. So important it takes all day to discuss one issue. Who was working?
And drink lots of beer.
It was us. We toiled this land. It wasn't men. You always see women with a hoe. It's not men. So why is it that we take ourselves out of the equation when it comes to decision making? There is no such thing as the head of a household in 2013. There is no such thing. If there is such a thing as a head of a household, you want to tell me.
It never was even back then. Never mind 2013.
But when you say, I just concede, like, fine.
Yeah,
you didn't know
fine.
better.
Yeah, okay.
But the point is, if you say somebody is the head of the household, you're saying that he's actually superior to you.
Yeah.
Why on earth would you say that?
But have you ever heard the appeasing argument?
Which is?
Yeah, but the woman is the neck. It holds
I'm
the
not
head.
a neck.
I'm like, what? I'm not a
fucking
neck.
head, okay? You're the head, I'm the head, two heads together make it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, why do we come to that? I was at an event on Tuesday in Johannesburg at UNISA University, and somebody very important stood up and said, but girls, remember, you must aspire, be excellent, be CEO of a company, but when you come home, remember that you're... And I said, oh, hell no, mommy. No. It's exactly that kind of nonsense that gets South African women up shit creek, and we don't need it. Men are not superior to women. They're not. Men are not... And I wish South African women would believe me.
Yeah.
I'm asking you that looking, do you believe that men are better than women? Then I don't think so, because that's just my personal view. I may be wrong.
Colored women, they don't take cuck. Sorry, excuse my language. But they don't take cuck seriously. They know that, okay, when I come back from work, before I go smoke, I must make my man food. I must do all these things for my man. But a man mustn't give me shit. Whenever they start doing their shit, those women, they will stand up and say, hey, listen here, I wash your clothes, I do ironing for you, I give birth on your babies, and I cook for you every day. Who do you think you are? So I sometimes wish we could just get that mentality where we stand up for ourselves, because now today you see a lot of women getting raped. They don't report those rapes. Their children's getting raped. They keep quiet because they know, so and so is providing for us. It's not even the father of your child, but you keep him quiet.
Our parents, it may have been easier for them because it was very sad. Your man is the head of the household, so it's easier to accept when and when they can't. You can't buy a house alone. You can't. Women were treated as children. Even white women were treated as children. If you both go to apply for a loan, when they actually it's in your name.
Where's your husband?
Where's your husband? You couldn't even.
It's part of the form. Married.
So women must stop treating ourselves like children. Then I think that it's not. I think we're all different. And somebody who might be considered an effeminate man might be somebody that I'm completely into, because in our relationship it evens out. It could there isn't any one kind of prescription to say that there's only this kind of person. that it can be. And maybe if we had more stronger rules about the role of a man is this. I'm just struggling. Nobody's ever been able to give me a satisfactory answer or even an attempt at it when I say, so what do men do?
Yeah.
What do men do that
That is
so important
that I can't
I have
live
to
without
shut
one.
up and listen.
Yeah.
First of all, I have to, yes, exactly that. I can't live without one. And then second of all, if I do engage in a relationship with one, then I must cede my power. That's what you're saying. He's the head.
Yeah, I must assume that I'm less. But while we're on this this topic, actually, I mean, I'm 30, and I know you've been there. And for me, what I'm struggling with at the moment is how everyone is suddenly on my case about marriage. No one wants to give any, consideration to who I am as an individual, or what my story is, or whether I'm ready or not. But it's become this responsibility that I have as a woman right now to get married and bear children. What's that about?
I think there's something very natural about procreation that maybe that our parents like to see themselves, not just in us but in grandchildren. The idea of an expanding family, the idea of a family growing, all cool. I get all of that stuff. But we don't really have to. We don't really have to. That's the reality. I'm 41. I was married when I was 24. So I'm glad I got it out of my system, so to speak. But it was never really an ambition of mine. So I've not worn the fufu dress, and I'm mortified by it. Somebody's saying, "Would you ever get married again?" I said, I might, but I'd certainly elope. I'm not going to invite you people to my wedding and do some dancing in the street. It's not to say one does not want companionship. I love men. I love men. Did I say I love men? I love men.
I completely get what you know. Of course they love you. The problem is that you
don't
are
love my mouth.
Exactly. You're a big mouth. But that's the thing, and I get what you're saying, that there's something lovely about it. It's like there's something lovely about a wedding, but when you start talking about a marriage, it's something totally different,
Sure.
But for me, I'm just like, it's this idea that that's the only natural way one can progress in life, and that's the only way you can actually ever show that you've achieved something or that you've grown. That's a part for me that
have you noticed
that I
that
find
women's
insulting.
magazines do that a lot?
Yeah.
Or like people are finding themselves there, that they're making an announcement about a man. Either they're about to marry a man, or they tell you why they're divorcing him and how horrible he was. After they've told you, me and my man, look at us, he's the head and I'm the neck. Oh yes, we are so happy. 3 years later, he hit me. He was terrible. How?
You're not giving women the education they deserve. Things will always be like this. No, but it goes beyond education, because some of these women are really powerful, educated women.
A masters who was saying this on Tuesday, and I felt like you're talking to young people and they're nodding about like you may be a CEO in the office, but you're not a CEO at home. And here's the thing: I'm not saying you come home and you're bossy.
No.
I'm saying if I'm having sexual relations with somebody, we are partners. Why does somebody have to be on top and another one at the bottom? Surely decisions. It's like he could have a good idea about one thing, I could have another. But it's this assumption that in the natural order of things, man comes out king that I just cannot deal with. I cannot reconcile myself with that reality, which seems to be encouraged. So either the other thing that women announce on the cover of magazines is babies.
Yeah.
So it's a fertility thing. So that's what earns you. If you read now, go to any of those women magazine things. There's usually an announcement that is about fertility, marriage, or divorce. It's one of those three things. Yeah. So if you don't have any of those three to talk about, I guess you're not worth talking about then. It's like just as well.
Yeah, career what?
Yeah, who cares about the career? Don't.
What?
You were actually
what?
fired from whatever. Who cares about your career? Why?
Even if you haven't been fired,
you'd be like, oh, yeah, right.
It's just
it's
like,
not enough.
She's that career woman. Yeah, she's not married. Oh, I wonder why.
Because if you have a man, then you're worthy. It doesn't
she,
matter if your man has 5 other women. The reality is most of us are not necessarily in monogamous relationships.
Many of
Certainly not for the rest of our lives. The way that I see married people acting out here on these streets, we're like, ooh, That is very interesting. So why do we bother with the facade of monogamy? Is it that it's a religious thing that tries to protect families, to be like, make sure that, because it's not necessarily a bad thing. You don't want your kids to be played around with, or for men with terrible intentions to make mincemeat or. Most importantly, there's a lot of STDs, but there's also condoms. So there's also condoms. But I'm saying, like it's
Human behavior.
Human behavior is a problem, exactly. But thank God, unlike for our grandmothers who didn't have access to condoms, we do. And we can even get them for free. God bless the ANC government.
Yes.
Choice condoms, viva baby. You're doing the right thing. And yes, you should take them to school. You should. The kids are messing about like bunnies. I know parents don't want to hear that.
But they are. That's reality.
And they're falling pregnant, and they're so vulnerable. So I think we should give them the tools to be able to do so. They're not.
They're not being used. The fact that we still have thousands and thousands of people getting infected, the fact that we still have unborn babies getting infected, whereas the mothers, they know that I'm taking the treatment, the nevarapine, the AZT, but they still have sex without using a condom with their partners, and the partners, they still go outside having sex with other women without using a condom. We just don't use it. I think, it became a norm that if I'm with my partner, after 3 months, we know each other, we just stop using a condom. That's how it
means
is.
we're committed.
Even without going to the clinic to test, we just drop. We just drop it. But even if me now Nokbonga, I was serious about using condoms, I would say, baby, we must go buy condoms if we don't have the choice in the house. But there's a time where I feel like, okay, now I'm comfortable with this one. Okay, maybe we can do it, but I know for me, I can't do it. So I think it just became a norm, and now everyone, even young people, the teenagers, they're like, okay, they're there, but I'm not going to use them, because if my 21 years old partner gives me 100 rand for lunch every day at school, then why must I force him to use a condom if he doesn't want to use a condom? And if my boyfriend says I want a baby, then why not giving him a baby? Because he does everything for me. I have relaxed her. I know this from experience, because when I was young, when my mom couldn't provide those things for me, I had an old man. I was 16 years old and he was 32. No, 29. And he promised that I'll do everything that you want. I'll make you a lady that you want to be. I will make you the happiest woman ever. And the love that I didn't get from my father, because he wasn't there all these years, So another man comes offering this love to me. So why don't I take it? Few months in a relationship, he says, no, let's not use a condom. Don't you trust me? Trust always comes first in a relationship, where they say, why don't you trust me? Have I done anything for you not to trust me? So you drop everything. If you are that young woman who grew up in that kind of an environment where you don't get the love from your father's side, and your mother can't afford to give you everything that you need, then I promise you, more than 10 girls out there who in that situation, it's only one of them who will say, no, I will not be like them. I'm one person who will never open my legs to get money, to get relaxed, to get the perfume I want. But 9 of them, they will fall for that.
Those 9 are getting HIV infected, because the Minister of Health has highlighted this, that if you were to remove South African men from South African women for about 10 years, you would actually get rid of AIDS completely.
I can believe that.
Completely. And that the new infections are amongst that group of young women that you're talking about. That young group of women who are dating men who are significantly older. So there's a lot of transsexual sex going on, and intergenerational sex, meaning that there's been like a 10-year difference at least.
My dream is to see or have my grandchildren growing up in a free country where they don't have to worry about their hair, they don't have to worry about their skin, not feeling ashamed to speak their own language.
My dream is not to have to explain myself over what I physically am.
My dream is to live in a country that celebrates all excellence, regardless of the package it comes in, and to have a government that has enough thick skin to withstand criticism that comes from a good place.
Z, you should ever sit and talk with people, or else take a walk and create a straight talk. Talk what is nice, it will make you feel stronger. Listen what is right and say what is wrong. You should ever sit and talk with people, or else take a walk and create a straight talk. Talk what is nice, it will make you feel stronger. Listen what is right and say what is wrong.